Hello everyone, welcome back to Nether Exhibition, episode 11. I hope you enjoyed the new intro. I've been working on that for a little bit, just mostly as a test of what I can actually do in Adobe, but I think it came out pretty well. Yep, non-completed stuff, showed you that last time. We are quickly going to deal with this. Yeah, the golems are still being pretty damn crazy, and what's worse is they're actually building up a lot upstairs and they're causing pile-ups, which are exactly as easy to clean out as that might sound. And then of course we have this problem, but thankfully we have the new improved sound, so you can actually probably hear me over this, although quite frankly I'll be mildly surprised. Should calm down a little bit when they actually start running out, but I don't know. There's probably quite a few in there. I can't really tell specifically because of all the entities in the Nether, but quite a few in there. Because as soon as one drops down to the level above here, right before they hit this pit, another one spawns up the stairs. So I think there's probably something being messed with somewhere. It might be the well, the way that iron golems are made to spawn in the village code is there's a test for whether there's enough golems for the village, and then there's also a check based on a random big number meeting being 0 basically, and that's meant to happen. That's meant to be like a 1 in 9,000 something like that chance, which equates in game to about 1 every 10 minutes. And I'm guessing that's balked somewhere, because they just don't seem to be stopping spawning, which does have its benefits, as I'll soon tell. I'll just quickly show you upstairs. There's Walter gone. Ah, there he is. Optifine zoom, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we have a stack of iron blocks and change, which I have an idea to put them towards later on, actually. Let's just go take a look at our gold farm. You can probably tell it's not really working too great since these guys are still around. I'm not expecting it to work particularly great anyway, but it does actually work. During construction I had more than a few of them fall down on my head. Let's say we just go down here. I have done a bit of work cutting off these sides. I've mined out a lot of the nether brick that's through here. And just down here. See if there's anything down here. Yeah, I really need to expand these pads. There isn't much around here at the moment. The main problem really is that the Nether, as I've discussed before, is a gigantic cave system, and I've done a bit of terraforming, but I guess I'll have to do a bit more of that later. That creates a lot of areas where things like the pigmen and the magma cubes can spawn. And we live in a fortress to boot, so we live in a part that actually artificially increases that cave system as well. So there's just a whole lot of surface area to be concerned about, and you really need, like, more than once when you're wandering around the Nether, you'll see gigantic lava lakes. Whoa! Who is he shooting at, and from where? They definitely can't see me in here, so I don't know why I occasionally get gassed shooting at something. If we're lucky, that will not be a repeat of the last time I had one spawn inside the fortress. We'll just go have a look at that. Because that would be tremendously bad. Wow, there's a lot of you guys around. At some point, I'll probably go into half slab a large portion of the fortress. Oh, thanks, Meg, it's not in here. Last time it was in here, folks, it set fire to everything. It caused a lot of damage. But yeah, I'm probably going to half slab a lot of the fortress at a point. I guess to evict the pigmen, but also to restrict their spawning to... Ah, there you are. Also to restrict their spawning to our gold farm and increase its effectiveness. And there's something about these trees that iron golems love. I don't know why that is, but for some reason they're just always around like that. Come on, Malta. He is a mite sluggish at the best of times. But, yeah, it's just... If we don't cover the surface area, we'll get a lot of things spawning, including pigmen, and including ghast, and also including, magma cubes, which are a lot harder than the, overworld's cubes. I will tell you that much. I'd really like to find the library. Martin, I think, has some idea of where it is. He's been looking at the... He's been looking at what we know about the fortress, and I think he might have an idea of where it is. So we may see that next time. But, today, we are going to try and supplement our currently predominantly melon-based, food supply with some mushrooms. And there have been a lot of changes to how mushrooms work, on the overworld, but just to say back on Earth. Minecraft Earth, not ours. I suppose it isn't Earth, considering it's about 8 times the size of Earth. But, we are going to try and see about making a mushroom farm, which is, right over here. I suppose I'm going to take this sign off. I may see about building a ghast farm next episode, I'm not sure. That's probably going to be one of the larger projects I attempt. But, let's see, I need a pickaxe for this. Spare sticks? 1 spare stick, so let's get 6 of this out. Yeah, you can see I've been just wearing my hat and my boots, because that's what I usually tend to wear, really, honestly. It's not exactly the most protection I can possibly have, but it does the job most of the time. It kind of shows off my skin, which sounds really perverted to say now that I think about it. But there we are. Lost my chest plate while I was building the gold farm, because a ghast decided to shoot down while I was putting up the iron bars. Let's see, where are we going to put this? Whoop, speaking of ghast, shall we take him on? We could take him on. Possibly not the best idea before I've eaten. So let's sort that out, shall we? Bowl. Mushroom soup will be a pretty handy thing to have around. This. Yep, see that? It fills up about, I think it's 4 hunger. It fills up, which is about 4 times that of melon, so we eat a lot less. There's also, I think it has a higher saturation value, I think it was Etho called it. It's been a while since I've watched this video. I should really watch that again. Where are you? Let's head down over here and see if we can find him. I heard that other one shooting there. Aim for thoughts that aren't flammable. Yeah, I am a lot better at this now. Gotcha. Now that we have the lag sorted out, I'm doing pretty well with that. There's quite a few of them building up around, but we can't really do much about that. And how much of him fell into fire? Oh, not much it seems. Just get rid of this fire. Before that sets something on light. Before that sets something alight. Okay, that went out, that's good. Whew. Hello, Martin. There was actually, we did have a small zombie siege very recently, except the only 2 zombies that spawned were on those 2 pieces of gravel. So I think they were going after Martin, except they were the only 2 that spawned, and they were also stuck. They just stood around there moaning, as zombies are wont to do, I guess. Whoa. Stop doing that! Oh, jeez. He's gonna keep firing up there, isn't he? Okay, we didn't make that ghast cry. A pity, but then we don't really have much use for the ghast tears at the moment. It would be fantastic if we could actually use them. Well. Oh, jeez, there's 2 of them there. We have to go there. I guess we're starting this mushroom farm episode by combating ghast. Thankfully, they are rubbish shots. Oh, I can't get up there. It's not as red. I wonder if they're random firing. It's just what builds most of the cave structure. Jeez. Let's see, how can I get up there? Oh, well, that just leads to a dead end. I have to tunnel my way up there if I want to catch them. Okay, over here. I've killed before. In fact, I'm quite willing to do it again. Da-da-da-da. See if we can find that cave up here. Not what I expected to be using this pick for. Whoa! Okay, here's hoping that's an isolated event. Whoa. I don't think it is. Ah. Yikes. Okay, now we have to be careful because we know there's lava around. You first. Ow. This was probably a very bad idea. Ow. This is definitely a bad idea. Back in the hole, back in the hole. Okay, so we have a few house guests for the moment. Oh dear. I would take that out on some pigmen, but they'll probably just own me right now. Whew. Hey. So, well, in other news, my birthday was not too long ago. 4 days as I'm recording. It will be a bit later by the time this goes up. Let's get some food. That was a really bad idea. Why didn't you guys talk me out of that? You know, travel back in time, intrude upon my personal space, and tell me not to attack the 2 ghasts in a small lava-filled cave. And they're doing their token line now. Yeah, this is a weird thing that happens. Just if you leave them long enough to be at their own devices, they just end up doing that. Right, so where are we gonna put this mushroom farm? So we've got the melon farm there. Let's do something with this area, because this has just been kind of sitting here doing nothing for a while. Now, in the overworld, it's kind of hard to farm mushrooms, just because the way that they're coded, I guess. You can't really place them nowadays. And you can only place them on certain surfaces and at certain times. But I'm hoping we can override that, because mushrooms, they spawn naturally and such inside of the Nether, and they seem to grow across Netherrack as well. So I think it's possible to have a mushroom farm here. Maybe not one of greater or even necessarily good speeds, but definitely something. So I'm just going to set something up here. It's kind of small. And then we are going to see... Well, we're going to have a test case, basically. See how far these decide to spread. Okay, so... 2 red. Yes, we can put them down. That's a good start. And 2 brown. And we're just going to see how far... these guys will decide to travel. Let's see, what's the block light here? Block light is 10 here. We're in a unique position where we don't actually have to worry about mobs all that much. So let's cover this up a bit. Just to reduce the light level a bit more. We are now 10 still? Oh, probably because of these torches. Yeah, well, I have plenty of this from laying that place out. Get rid of that one, because I don't think these actually stop pigmen at all. Just made the place look nicer. Okay, so it's 8 at the door. 3 over here, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay, so that should be reasonable enough for them to grow. And let's see, what can we do while we wait for that to happen? Well, we have this other thing over here, Ghast Farm. I did say we're probably not going to do that today, but we do have probably a fair bit of space for it to go up in. And we'll come back in a while and see if those have grown. So let's see, we've got down here. I kind of want to have like some kind of exit door to the outside there, so I don't have to run all the way around when I want to play Ghast Fireball Hockey or whatever. But first let's evict these guys, shall we? A bit of food. Gnomes. Okay. Probably gonna be a lot more of them around in a few seconds. Yep, there's another one. Another 3, in fact. Dare I say I'm getting marginally pro at this. If you're particularly quick with your key presses, you can do some fairly impressive stuff as far as combat in Minecraft goes. Those Ghast are going to be mocking me for the rest of eternity. And they will be here for eternity, more or less. Because they're right above my base. And they'll only despawn if I leave. Which I'm rather disinclined to do. Hey, hello. Perhaps we can test this. Would one of you like to come close to the ladder, please? Lest I kill myself. No? No one? I can't throw things at you. Which I guess is something I need to fix. I suppose I could put fence gates around. And just open them and release them. I don't really want to risk getting off this ladder. Whoa. I sensed there was a problem with this idea. Ah, I do have some blocks actually. Ooh, quite a few blocks from that. Okay, so let's go back up here. Plonk one down. Jump on it. You, sir. Come on. There we go. Certain doom awaits you. And what have we got? A little bit of XP from the one I punched, a gold nugget, and some rotten flesh. So yeah, it's not magnificently effective at the moment, just because the spawning areas are so small and there is so much terraforming to be done. But I'm not really going to bore you guys with that over an episode or something. I'm just going to do that off camera. Although, given the space out there for gas to spawn... oh yes, which reminds me, we have some reasonable conclusions, Sankard and I, about the spawning of ghast, which seems to be that a good majority of them will spawn on solid ground only. He disappeared before our eyes. But some of them will also randomly spawn, like the one that I recently had inside my iron golem farm. God, that was a lot to clean up. Oh, nothing in there. Well, let's see about working on this door then, shall we? Let's see. The top of Martin's house lines up with the floor lines up with a decent portion of the stronghold. So let's see if we can dig through to that. Okay, we've hit Nether brick. Aha! Here we go. Okay, so let's make a doorway of this, shall we? That. Okay, wait, do we want to make this 3 wide like everything else? Of course, make things nice and akin. Oh, but that's gonna mess up this, isn't it? Oh, we can probably fix that later. Okay, be adding the stairs in a moment. For the moment, we just got the steps. Martin going around at his business. I believe that I moved the Zisto resident's door to his office just to slightly encourage him, I will grant, to actually get some dang work done. But and we'll see if that has any help for him. According to Martin, actually, there is some interesting signs of intelligence with the pigmen. Namely, their, for lack of a term, their group mentality, which suggests, to a fault actually, almost a hive mind with them. Because they always seem, even ones that haven't actually had the slightest bit of contact with one another will actually still defend each other, which suggests they have either an extremely strong racial integrity, whoop, I think we're meant to, or they're actually able to talk to one another through some means other than face-to-face communication. It would be fascinating to find out. Except, what worries me is they seem to be able to how do I put this? They seem to be able to know this almost regardless of distance. And I'm curious, if they have that kind of linking, why aren't they more, how should I put this, more developed? Why don't they have more technology? And granted, the Nether is a bit sparse at the best of times, but I've done some pretty cool stuff around here. So it would seem to me that they should be able to put something together if they've got a blooming hive mind going. So I kind of suspect that there's some other force at play here. Because if you have that kind of capability and you don't do some cool stuff, generally there's a reason for it. And the reason is often one of education. It's like the number one, like, dark period for humankind, really, as far as technology goes, would be the Dark Ages, the medieval age, following the fall of the Roman Empire. And the people then were exactly as capable as we are today, except they weren't really very well educated. And the reason that was, even though they had the capability again, is because of the church, because of religion, which I will not go into detail on right now. So if there's some kind of force like religion, like unto religion, I guess would be the phrase, that's keeping the pigmen down, I wonder how intelligent it is. There's also a lot of other problems with the Dark Ages, but that's a complex subject, and I'm sure I'm probably boring all of you already with this. Okay. Something else I need to locate around the stronghold actually is a broken bridge, because I still have that challenge from I believe it was a player by the name of Aubergine Queen, who wanted me to use the melon blocks that I've been using over there for some kind of construction to repair a bridge. That'd be an interesting thing to do, because I've done the tests and ghast are actually incapable of breaking melon. Hello, we have our first security problem. What a surprise! I was just talking about you guys. Yep, there's a few of them. And those guys probably heard the squeals, but I bet him down there can probably figure out to attack me as well. Which be borderline impossible for humans, so they definitely have some kind of mentality. Another thing that is interesting is that they're clearly undead. It's like I don't really need to explain that one. They are zombies. They are zombie pigmen, which also suggests living pigmen somewhere. But the curious thing on that notion is zombies. They're almost always animated by some larger force, be it a voodoo master or a dark wizard or something. There's always some higher force that generally has, if not a controlling element to them, certainly a creation element to them. It's like the exception really is the George Romero films, where you have what is considered either to be an act of God, depending on which movie you're watching, or just a straight-up virus. A virus, of course, is a lot harder to kill than a zombie. But I don't think it's a virus, because we haven't seen any pigmen fallen to pass it on to, nor have we seen them attack anything but me, really. So I don't think it's a virus, which then leaves us open to the higher force thing. Ah! Excellent, one of our brown mushrooms has grown. So it looks like that's actually going to work. Which is fantastic. I don't actually know how long I've been rambling on for. Oh well. Okay, but now I have our doorway out to here, which is good. Because now I can probably build some more stuff around here. Okay, this right. As you saw me do a flyby because I hopped into creative momentarily to just do a swoop around and take a look at things. And the intro. Not gonna be making a habit of that, I'll say right now. But let me actually see some stuff that we could probably do. It's like we've got a lot of space in the Nether to do a lot of things we could come up with. Resources allowing, really. Ooh, I'm starving. I'm not. There was a time way back when zombie pigmen would drop cooked pork, which I sorely miss right now. But we shall persevere. Alright, so I could put the wood up through this as well, but if I do that, I really want some kind of doorway here. Just to kind of prevent ghast from shooting inward. Just continue our wooden theme. I'd really like Nether brick half slabs at some point. Because that would make it a lot easier to half slab the fortress. There we go, 16. And that should be a full stack of wood. Perfect. I'm saying that a lot today. Okay, and a fence gate made handily from a single log. There we go. That'll allow us to bar the pigmen entry through here. There we go. And it's no Walters to this point, so we don't have to worry about him escaping. Yeah, to here should be good. And oh right, this is Martha's roof, isn't it? Well, I don't want to raise this. We could just put half slabs over, I suppose. Excuse me. Eep. Stay away from Martin. Wow, I sucked at swinging that time. Come on. I know you're here. Yep. Maybe I should make some kind of secondary access to here, just so Walter can come in and give the guys a showing too. It's okay, you're okay. They're all gone now. Till the next spawning cycle when I'm out of range. Eesh. Where's my wood? There it is. Right between my legs. Ha ha ha. Right, well let's put half slabs down here then. Because that'll also stop them spawning. Oh geez, there's a bunch of them around. And my sword's going to break soon. Yep, these guys know. There's definitely some kind of hive mind going here, or some greater control. I mean, it makes sense they know now, but... No? Whoop, nope. Dastardly so-and-so. Gotcha. I can't tell if they're idiots or they just have some ability to actually scam me. Oh jeez, I've got a full assault today. My sword's gonna be gone in no time at this rate. I know. Oh yes, something else I found out recently is that swords work very well on melon. I don't know why. I can only compare them to see, yeah, I only have one wooden slab. I can only compare it to cutting it with a knife. Oop, 5. There. Okay, back to business. Okay, and now that might cause a problem actually with getting that gate, getting through that gate. Yeah, that is going to cause a problem. So we're going to have to move this up one, which should be fine, really. Or just remove this one block. But I think I'd rather be able to have this whole thing half-slabbed. There we go. The main way I've been using to get around the problem of hazards of removing Nether brick from the fortress is cutting out the parts that I'm not using, basically. It's like there's a lot of corridors that we're just not really touching at all. So I've been removing those, and there's also a lot of corridors that don't really go anywhere at all either. This episode will be titled Dum-de-Dum. At this rate. I don't know why I'm saying that a lot today. Apparently I am. Have more of them turned up? It's like I can hear them. Are they in... Okay. Are They're just really angry at me. And yeah, he's ended up in here. I don't know what it is, but apparently golems hella love trees. Which might be why they have a tendency to wander off inside of villages. Stairs. Yeah, we only have 3. Let's make some more of them. And that should do. And we'll have a brand new doorway. Oh, we only needed 3. Didn't have to make any more at all. Okay, so that's a brand new little corridor for us. We might work on the walls a bit though. Yeah, let's do some of these walls. Now I've been using, throughout a lot of the fortress so far, I've been using the original Nether brick walls, but with a wooden stripe running along them. Sort of, probably the best association I can give is the power line indicators is about the best way I can describe them out of Portal 2, where they had lines going from different objects to indicate their association with other things, like a button to a laser or something. And I'm kind of doing the same thing on the floor here, so I'm not entirely sure how well this will look. I guess we'll only find out one way. It gives this nice little distinction of which parts are man-made and which parts are actually relevant to us. There we go again. And let's see, let's have that line curved, shall we? I know I can speak a lot louder now that we've, well, I know I can speak a lot quieter now that I've fixed this, sound issue, which I described in, Lang Plays StarCraft. But, in case you didn't know, I got a boom mic stand for, my microphone, which means that it's now about an inch or 2 from my face, which is a little intimidating at times, because there's this big, sharp light on it. Let's see, let's connect that here. No, it's passive through, I think. And whoop, I'm going. This is a slight problem. My designs end up being very interconnected this way. Okay, but there's nothing there, so I stop it from there. There we go. Distinct sign of an aperture. Yeah, so I got that, which means that so it turns out the primary problem I was having with my mic, which is fantastic otherwise, is simply it was too far away from me. I looked on a few different reviews, and I looked around the internet to find some various solutions that people with the same problem had come up with, and the main issue is simply that it. There were some special terms for it, but I can't quite recall what they were, because I'm not necessarily... I come from a musical family, I am not especially musical, I don't necessarily really have to remember these kinds of things. Let's get that, good. But the main problem is that it's a specific kind of microphone, which means it sort of lowers the volume of things that are nearby it, and raises the volume of things that are further away, so it can equalize them and make them all sound nice and clear and not overpower each other. So the only real way to fix that is, in short, just move it closer to my face. There were some other more complex issues that could be solved, such as putting the audio through things like Audacity. No, you're not getting in this time. Yeah. Through things like Audacity to enhance the volume just manually by virtue of... Oh, thanks, Meg, that's it. fence gates have the same sound, so it's a bit creepy. Yeah, just to have a louder volume out of the microphone, but it's not something that would be impossible for me to do, but it is something that would be tricky for me to do. And oh god, they're inside. This episode will either be called Dum De Dum or just The Piggening. And only brown ones so far. Okay, I need more wood anyway. There. Put that back. Grab 3 of these for the front. Okay. Yeah, they wouldn't be impossible for me to do, but it's kind of tricky to do. I tried recording the audio separately and just adding that to the video afterwards, and I had a whole bunch of different synchronizing issues. Whoa. Can I get you to go off that side? Apparently not. But I can get to die. Whoop. Gassed. Exactly what I was hoping to avoid. Also, hello. I hit him so hard he stood on a ledge. That was perfect. He just landed perfectly over there. Okay, well, we don't have anything flammable here now, but nonetheless, I'd rather not face gas. Oh, they're not. I think they are. Whoa, you are though. Whoa, I released them. Hey guys. So, funny thing. Fraps, to try and just lower the file size of its videos, cuts them up, basically, when you film them. So there's like 10-minute ones, and there's 5-minute ones, and all sorts. As it turns out, almost exactly as I was starting that big fight with the pigmen, which, thank heck, I was eventually able to run from, Fraps decided there was a new file to make. What it also decided was that the directory where I was storing all of these videos, just as I filmed them, then I edit them and whatnot and put them in a different directory, was too full. Consequently, it decided, when I finally finished filming, not long after that, that there wasn't enough room to film the conclusion of that episode, and dropped it. Basically, it no longer exists. So that's annoying, but no, not a big loss. I didn't film that much more than this. So that's kind of annoying, but that's kind of just the stuff that Fraps does every now and then. Which is why I've taken recently to clearing out that directory whenever I've finished an episode. Yeah. Thank you, Walter. Hey, it seems like this series is going to be plagued with all manner of technical issues, but we kind of have to grin and bear with them, and where possible, we kind of have to fix them. But yeah, we got our new little doorway to the outside world. Although I can't imagine many situations we'd want to go out there. I may actually start half slabbing the place fairly soon. That may be something I do before next episode. Oop. Pardon me. But yeah, that's about everything for this episode. We have confirmed that mushrooms will grow. I'm gonna go away and do a fair bit of work on making a more effective, if not efficient, mushroom farm. Since we have plenty of room around here to make one. Yep, brown mushrooms seem to be beating red mushrooms. Maybe I'll just separate the two out somewhere, I'm not sure. But they do grow, so that's a good sign. That means we can have a more efficient food source than the melons. The melons are lovely, and you can grow them practically anywhere, but the mushrooms give me a lot more hunger. Or take away more of my hunger. It's a funny system to discuss. Anyways, that's all for today. I'm out.